So hi people from uh, um, our audience. We are here with Jeff Blain, who is a guy who is a fun guy around a boring industry. And he's, he likes to do, and he likes to joke around with his posts, and that's why we asked him to have a talk with him and to see and find how he entered into this kind of fun marketing in an industry that is really boring around engineers. Hi Jeff, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you. Thank you for talking with me. It's an honor. I'm been excited to do this with you.
Thank you, Jeff. So, can you tell us how did you start with the idea of making fun marketing posts in a boring industry like finishing industry that you are?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think when I first started doing posts on LinkedIn, I had no idea what I was doing, and at first, maybe I would make some posts that were informational about our company or about our products, just communicating the facts. So I would say they were also very boring, and also for they wouldn't catch any attention unless you were really looking for something like that and you took the time to pay attention to the post. It probably wasn't going to connect. So I'm kind of a person who likes to joke around or be funny. It's the way I connect with my friends. It's if I meet new people, usually I'm using humor to connect with people because that's just my natural style. That's the way I like to be. I find that it's kind of like an icebreaker or a bridge builder. People like to laugh. I try to find ways to connect with people through humor in my normal life. So I just thought, well, maybe this is a good idea for just the post to communicate with potential customers or with existing customers, to connect with them using some humor. And I have a good friend who I met in university who's really professional, good at marketing, really good at storytelling. And I've learned a lot from her over the years about connecting with people and getting through, kind of, she would say, the clutter or the noise of a lot of information out there and connecting with people on a real level. And so I just thought, well, I am who I am, so I'm going to be funny in my post and give it a try. And I've found that people have connected with that.
So, thank you. And have you got in any trouble for pushing too much the line?
That's a great question. So I'll tell you a funny story. I will find some funny picture and I will Photoshop my face on it to make some outrageous things. So some examples, there's a picture of me from running an obstacle race, which I like to do, and I can't see very well, so I have to wear glasses, but I'm going through obstacles and in muddy water and things like this. So I have goggles and they look crazy. They look ridiculous. So I have a picture of me wearing the goggles, and I took my face with that and I put myself on a picture of a famous actor in a bubble bath from the TV show Friends. And I made a post out of this talking about how sometimes cleaners, if they're not at the right temperature, they'll make foam and bubbles and cause a problem. So I just make this ridiculous thing to catch people's eye, and then they read it and they find some useful information. So this one, me in a bubble bath, maybe this is starting to get a little bit silly, but so no big problem there. But then I decided to do a post about water beating up on parts that aren't clean. So it makes beads of water. They break up into little particles. So I use the idea of beads, and I thought, well, where else are beads? So in the U.S., in Louisiana, in New Orleans, it's very famous for beads in Mardi Gras, and it's associated with, hey, if I show you my beads, maybe the lady will show her breasts. So I thought, this is getting a little bit edgy. Maybe I'm going to get in trouble for this. I don't know, but I just made the post. Again, there was a guy with all these beads, wearing all these beads around his neck, and I put beads are bad. And I thought I would do a double meaning, like they're bad for cleaning, and also maybe the idea of this is kind of a naughty idea, so it's bad. So this made me laugh, so I thought maybe this will connect with people, and I posted it. And then the first person to respond to my post on LinkedIn was the HR representative from my company. So I thought, oh no, I'm in trouble. But I thought she will contact me directly, privately, if I'm really in trouble. So more, she was just saying, hey, watch it, you're in trouble, publicly, as kind of like, yeah, we see you being naughty a little bit. But what I didn't realize is she was not commenting because of the beads and the symbol, the naughty symbol, the naughtiness in New Orleans. What I didn't notice when I was photoshopping is on the beads, there was a marijuana leaf. So it looked like I was promoting drugs. So anyway, my son is like, hey, Dad, what are you doing? He saw it, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So sometimes I need to pay attention a little bit more to what my humor is doing, but that's probably the closest I came to being in trouble. So anyway.
Okay,
but the post did really well.
Yeah.
Marketing gold, I guess, right?
Yeah, and finally, what would you advise for people in the finishing industry in order to try to do a more bold marketing content?
Yeah, I think I've had people in the industry partners, like I'm part of the trade association, as are you, CCAI, and other people at trade shows have said, hey, I like your posts. I'm trying to do more posts like that or whatever. And I think one thing I would say is you need to find a way to be yourself and to not push it. So I'm kind of a crazy guy, and it's just my natural sense of humor. So I'm doing stuff that I think is funny to me, and people are connecting with it. But if I tried to do something different, like something like my wife would do or my friends would do or something like that, it would come across, I think, as not being authentic. So I think you need to be very authentic in what you're doing. And I would say sometimes my posts are just silly, because I think we all need a little bit of humor in our life. So I'm not really trying to communicate any relevant product information or troubleshooting information to help the audience. It's more just like, hey, we'll have a laugh together today. But other times I use the humor as a bridge, like I mentioned with the beads are bad, talking about cleaning or bubbles and the foaming or whatever that you could get in industrial wash lines. I think the key thing is you're using humor to connect to people, but then ultimately you need to have helpful information. So as in, if all I did was funny posts, I would just kind of be a joke and it would get old. But what I'm really trying to consider is, how can I use humor to connect? But then how can I offer the community, the industrial finishing community, information that they can use? And I think the really good combination is when I know from talking to people in the field what a real problem is that's very common, that maybe is upsetting or frustrating. I like to use humor around that problem, and everybody's like, oh yeah, Jeff understands. This is crazy. We need to laugh, or we would actually cry, because this is something that really frustrates us. And then I try to, after I've connected with the humor, I try to deliver some information or some help, some resource to help them solve that problem, or to have some progress on that problem. So I think those are the things that I would advise people is be yourself, be authentic, have something that's going to stand out and connect with people, but then at the end of the day, you have to know what they really need and offer them something useful. It's not about selling your brand or selling your product so much as it's solving the problems for the people that you're trying to help and helping them build trust with you through connection and then offering something useful to them. I think ultimately that's what it's about, especially on a platform like LinkedIn. You have professionals there. Really what we hope that platform will do is connect people that can help one another be successful. So I don't know. Those are my thoughts.
So, thank you, Jeff, for sharing with us this information. It's a pleasure to have you with us, and we look forward to see you in the next show.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. It's been my privilege. I'm honored that you would consider having me on, and I would love to continue to partner to offer value to your audience and to help them in any way that I can. And I will see you at FabTech.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Take care.